Is Devin Vassell about to become the most expensive trade chip in Spurs history? With Harper joining Fox and Castle in what's suddenly the deepest backcourt in the league, the math is getting complicated for a guy earning $27 million per year. The Spurs have built something special, but sometimes championship teams have to make tough choices about talent that doesn't quite fit. Let's dive in. What's up, Spurs fans? Welcome to Spurs Quick News, quick, sharp, and all about the silver and black. Vassell averaged 16.3 points, 4 rebounds, and 2.9 assists per game this past season, marking the third straight year he's hit at least 16 points per game. But the deeper stats tell a more complicated story. His shooting splits were all over the place, particularly that bizarre first half versus second half difference where he'd look like a scrub in the opening frames, then turn into a borderline all-star after halftime. The streakiness that made him unpredictable isn't just a minor flaw anymore. When he had that career-high 37 points against Brooklyn on just 20 shots, it showed his ceiling, but those explosive games were followed by disappearing acts that left fans scratching their heads. What do you think about Vassell's consistency issues? Are they fixable or just part of who he is as a player? Here's where things get interesting tactically. The Spurs now have De'Aaron Fox fresh off signing a 4-year, $229 million extension, Rookie of the Year Stephon Castle, and second overall pick Harper all competing for backcourt minutes. That's not even counting role players who need touches to stay effective. The spacing concerns are legitimate. Harper shot just 33.3% from 3 at Rutgers, and Castle hit 28.5% from deep as a rookie. Fox is coming off finger surgery but has historically been inconsistent from range. Vassell's 36.4% three-point shooting suddenly becomes more valuable, but is it $27 million valuable when the defensive end hasn't lived up to expectations? If you're coaching this team, how do you even distribute minutes fairly between these 4 guards? If you're enjoying this breakdown of the Spurs roster puzzle, tap that subscribe button. Vassell's 5-year, $135 million extension includes $11 million in unlikely incentives spread across the remaining years. That contract structure actually makes him more tradable than you might think. It's large enough to bring back real talent, but not so massive that it scares teams away like some max deals do. The development timeline is crucial here. With Castle and Harper both on rookie scales and showing star potential, the Spurs have a narrow window to decide if Vassell complements this core or if his salary slot would be better used elsewhere. Championship windows don't wait for anyone, and with Wemby entering his prime years, every roster decision matters more. Teams like Portland are reportedly interested in sharpshooters, and Vassell's youth, still just 25, plus his playoff experience make him attractive to win-now squads. Do you see Vassell as a championship piece? Or is he more valuable as a trade asset to get that final piece? Let's be honest about what Vassell brings versus what championship teams actually need. His shot-making ability is undeniable. He showed flashes of being a killer defender when playing with energy late in the season, and his experience in the system has value. But championship teams need reliable two-way players who show up consistently in big moments. The concerning trend, his tendency to defer, can lead to stretches of low impact, and his health plus defensive intensity remain question marks. When you're paying someone nearly $30 million per year with incentives, you need them to be difference makers on both ends. The next month will be telling. If Vassell comes back from the off-season with improved consistency and that defensive motor we saw glimpses of, he could cement his place. If the same up-and-down pattern continues, don't be surprised if Brian Wright starts fielding calls. What's your realistic expectation for Vassell next season? Breakout year or trade candidate? Make sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you never miss our Spurs coverage. Look, the Vassell situation isn't about talent, it's about fit, money, and championship windows. The Spurs have built something special with this young core, and sometimes the hardest decisions are about moving good players to make room for great ones. If this breakdown helped you understand the Spurs roster puzzle, smash that like button and share it with a fellow fan who needs this perspective. Subscribe so you never miss a beat in this new Spurs era. We're covering every angle as this championship chase unfolds. Stay silver and black peace.